Hello, my darlings. How are you all? Hope you're all okay. Welcome back to today's video. And today's video is just, I just want to have a little chat with you guys, really. It's not going to be a long video. It's just going to be a little chat just to bring you up to speed on something that's been going on in the background for a number of months. And I haven't been able to share it up until now. But before we get into that, I hope you're all okay. Hope you're having a great bank holiday, even though the weather is unbelievably bad. We've got gale force winds, torrential rain. So, yeah, looks like summer's over for now. But apparently we're supposed to be getting some nicer weather again, aren't we, in June? So, yeah, we've got that to look forward to. So, yeah, a little update of something that's been going on in the background since about around the time that I lost mum and dad last year, August, September time. Excuse me. I've had Leslie's permission to share this with you as well. So it's regarding Les. I'm finding it quite difficult, but yeah, it's regarding Les. Every 12 months, Les, because of his heart condition and the medication that he's on, he has to go to the doctors and have a 12-month review on his medication and any side effects and stuff like that, as you do, you know, when you've got a long-term illness. And he had his bloods done, and his bloods come back with some kind of abnormality in them. And they thought that he got a problem with his liver. So, yeah, he had to have more tests. And a couple of weeks after that, Les was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer. Oh, excuse me, guys, I've got a call coming in. 1 second. Sorry about that, my darling. It was my niece. We've just had a good old catch up on the phone. She went to a wedding yesterday and she was just telling me, you know, all about it and stuff. So, yeah, sorry about that. Right, where did I get to? Yeah, so after a few more tests, Les has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Apparently, it's rife in men. There's no symptoms. A lot of men get it and they don't know they've got it. So, yeah, this is kind of an awareness post as well for any of you guys out there, for your husbands, your sons, you know, your friends. Les, there's no symptoms whatsoever. The only tiny little symptom was when he was going for a wee, it'd be a little hit and miss, stop and start. That's the only symptom. And he never paid that any mind. He just thought it was an age thing. So that happened, and that was right around the time that I'd lost mum and dad. So as you can imagine, there has been a hell of a lot going on in the background that I haven't spoken about. There's been a lot to deal with, but I will not come on my channel and be a negative Nelly. I won't come on here for sympathy or, you know, sad fishing or anything like that. I'm a positive person. You'll always see me with a smile on my face despite anything that's going on in the background, because I don't want it to impact my lovely positive space that I've got going here with you guys. You know, you're all amazing, you're all wonderful, and I don't want anything to spoil that. So that's why I haven't said anything up until now. And the only reason I'm saying something now is because Les has had treatment. So he had to have, well, he's still got to carry on having hormone injections. He's got to have them for 3 years. So he's having hormone injections. He started off every month, and then once he got used to it being in his system, he's on 3 monthly now. So every 3 months he has to have this hormone jab, and he's got to have that for 3 years. And then for the past 4 weeks, and this is another reason why I wanted to say something, is because my channel has been very hit and miss with, you guys know that I always post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6-7 o'clock. In the summer I'll do it at 7 o'clock, a little bit later because people are out enjoying the weather, but it's always the same time, week in, week out. And I've been all over the place for the last 4 weeks because we have been going to the hospital every day for the last 4 weeks, Monday to Friday, no weekends, but Monday to Friday. We've been going to the hospital every single day for Les to have radiation treatment. So he's had to have 20 sessions of radiation therapy on his prostate. Now, if the cancer stays within the prostate, it's curable, 100% curable. They can remove the prostate if they have to. They can cure it with the radiation or therapy, sometimes even just tablets and stuff like that. It's totally curable. If it comes outside the prostate, it can still be kept under control, very much under control, for a good many years. If it goes even further and goes into the lymph nodes or into the bones, there's basically nothing that can be done. They will treat you, but they will just keep you comfortable for the foreseeable until the inevitable happens. So what Les had to do before all this treatment, he's had to have scans, he's had to have biopsies. It's been backwards and forwards to the hospital for the past 9 months, and then this 4 weeks every single day. So he had to have an injection of like this radioactive dye put all the way through his body, and he had to go through have this x-ray thing on this machine that x-rayed his whole body to see whether this cancer had moved into his bones before they could go ahead with any treatment, any radiation or anything like that, radiotherapy. They had to know whether it had moved into his lymph nodes, his bones, before they could give him a treatment plan. So he had to have this dye put all the way through his body. We had to go away for 3 hours, and then he went so it could move around his body. And then we had to go back, and then they did this like scan of his whole body, and the results were brilliant. It hasn't gone into his bones. So that was an absolute sigh of relief. It wasn't in his bones. However, it has come outside of his prostate. It's not contained within the prostate. So then they could move forward with the plan of the radiation, and that's what we have been doing for the last 4 weeks. And that's why my channel's been a bit up and down, and I've been like, we haven't been out in the garden, and I'm saying, we weren't feeling the best, and I've been like passing it up, the weather's been crap or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm making excuses to you guys as to why we haven't been out in the garden and put our back into what we normally get up to in the summer to bring the garden up to scratch. We haven't been able to. Les has not been well. He's not been well at all. And this radiation therapy has took its toll on his body. He's feeling much better today. So he finished on Friday, the 22nd of May. He was rough. About the last... he weren't too bad for the first 5 sessions. And then after that, he's really, really been... He's been poorly. He's been really poorly. So, yeah, he was given medication for the pain. He's been being sick. He's been going to bed at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. We get back from the hospital, because the hospital is like 40 odd miles away from us. So every day we're doing like nearly 100-mile round trip backwards and forwards to the hospital. So as you can imagine, the whole day has been totally writ off. By the time you get up, he's had to prepare his body to go. His bladder has to have just the right amount of water in it. So it's not as clear cut as just going in, getting the therapy and coming out. excuse me, he had to prepare his body every morning with enemas and drinking fluid. And when he got to the hospital, he'd be took into a room, they'd scan him. If there wasn't enough water in his bladder, he'd have to come back out, sit for another 20 minutes, half an hour, drink some more water, back in, out. And it was like that for 4 weeks. Out of those 4 weeks, there was only 3 times that he went in and his bladder was just perfect. It was so difficult, so difficult. But yeah, we got through it. I was with him every step of the way. There was only one day that I didn't go with him because I was overwhelmed with not being able to get anything done at home. I know it doesn't matter. I know that the housework does not matter, but it does play on my mind when I can't get stuff done. And he was fine at this point. You know, he was fine. He weren't feeling too bad. And he said, look, just stay at home. I'll be fine. And that day was one of the days that he went straight in and come out. So he weren't gone that long, really. He was only gone a couple of hours. So that was good. But yeah, he's had the therapy now. As I say, he finished on Friday. He was feeling a bit rough Friday. And then when he woke up Saturday morning, he said, because he hasn't got to get his body all prepared and stuff, you know, he hadn't got to go through the trauma of doing an enema and stuff like that. He felt a bit better, and he says he feels even better today. And we was going to go outside into the garden today and do some bits and pieces, but the weather is shocking. It's forecast rain all week as well. And I said to him, I says, look, your body's been through something traumatic, really, because your body's been blasted with radioactive lasers or whatever it is, the laser therapy that they use for 20 days straight. So you've got to let your body convalesce out of that situation, that trauma. So he's just taking it easy. I'm being strict with him because he can't sit still. But he's had to sit still. He's had to listen to his body. He really has had to listen to his body this last 20 days. However, it's over now. The therapy's over, and he will have an appointment in 6 to 8 weeks at the hospital. They're going to send a letter through the post. He's got to have another blood test just before that appointment, and we will know for definite within 6 to 8 weeks how successful the treatment has been, whether it's all gone, because they're not only radiated. They didn't only treat the prostate and where it had come out of the prostate. They went a little bit further. So they give him radiotherapy on his lymph nodes and around that area in case there was any microscopic cancer cells that they could not see on the scan. Or do you know what I mean? So they've widened where the therapy had to go as a precaution, basically. So fingers crossed, guys. Prayers for Les to have the all clear in 6 to 8 weeks. But as I said, for awareness, I wanted to bring this post to you guys as well. I know there is guys who watch my channel. And I'll tell you another thing, right? We had to go to this unit in Shrewsbury Hospital. It was called the Lincoln Davis unit, where they treat cancer patients. And I couldn't believe how many people were in there. Day in, day out. Loads of people, day in, day out. How cancer is affecting people is... It's eye-opening. I mean, I know I'm not stupid. I know cancer affects a lot of people. But when you're in that situation like that and you see how many people it does actually affect, young and old, all different ages, sizes, colours, it doesn't discriminate, does it, cancer? You know, it's, it affects people right across the board. And that unit where we were, the people were amazing. Absolutely amazing at Shrewsbury Hospital. I cannot sing their praises enough. They are wonderful. And I just couldn't believe how many people was in and out all day long. Every single day of the week, that place is open, and they are treating people. Well, there was like a chemotherapy department there as well, like a day unit where they did chemo, the radiation therapy. The Macmillan was there, and honestly, it's really, really opened my eyes. So if you've got any men in your life, get them to go and get a PSA blood test done at the doctor's and get their PSA levels checked, because that is the only way that prostate cancer can be detected, is by the PSA levels in a guy's blood count. So if you've got any men in your life, I'd say well, it can affect any age, but particularly, 40 plus, I would say, get them to go and get a PSA test, especially if like them having, a little bit of difficulty in the toilet area and they just think, oh, it's just age. That when they're going for a wee and it's stop, start, or they can't go, or they're going too much, then yeah, please get them to go to the doctors and ask for a PSA blood test and get the levels checked. Leslie's PSA was 13.5, which is about 3 times higher than it should be. The cancer was, there was the scale, is it the Gleason scale? I think it's called the Gleason scale, and it goes from 1 to 10, I think the Gleason scale does, and Les was 9 on the Gleason scale with his prostate cancer, and his PSA level was 13.5. So they start you on the hormone treatment first, the injections to bring down, and they give you the hormone treatment because testosterone in a man feeds the cancer. That's the first place it goes, and they grow quick. This was only happened within a 12-month space, because Les gets tested every 12 months and reviewed, I should say, every 12 months, and he's blood tested every 12 months. So from the last blood test to that blood test, he had developed prostate cancer and he was 9 on the Gleason scale. So that's how quick it grows, because the testosterone feeds it. So the hormone therapy is given, the injections to bring down the PSA level, the testosterone level, to stop it feeding the cancer, and then the PSA level drops. And Leslie's PSA level dropped right down to 0.1, which was brilliant. And then he's had to have blood tests throughout, and then he had a blood test, it went up again, it started to climb up again. So they said that, he needed a little bit of a boost with the hormones, because his body wasn't reacting to the hormones anymore, even though it was still going in, his testosterone was creeping back up, because he's a red-blooded male. So they had to give him some extra tablets to bring the hormone, to bring the PSA level back down again before they could do the treatment, the radiotherapy treatment. So, yeah, it brought it back down again with these tablets. I think he had to take them for a month, and then it brought it right back down again, and he was able to have the treatment, which we are so thankful for, And as I say, Les has given me his full permission to discuss this with you. And I'm just thankful that he's here with me, and yeah, we've got through the worst of it. We're just waiting on those final results now, but I will let you know further on, what did I say, 4 to 6 to 8, excuse me, I'm sorry, 6 to 8 weeks down the line, we should have the final results of whether the radiotherapy has been or how effective it's been. So I just wanted you guys to know, why things have been a little bit topsy-turvy as regards my channel, because it does play on my mind. This is my happy place, my channel. It's something that I love doing, and I did try to keep it as normal as possible through those 4 weeks. but I was uploading late, I was missing uploads, and then I had this bloody rash come out on me, on my arm and my neck, which I put down to some skincare. I've stopped using the skincare and it's still there. I'm thinking that it's either hormone or it could be stress related. I did go and see the what's it called, the pharmacist, and he's given me some cream and some antihistamines, some stronger ones. And yeah, the cream's helping. It's just very, very dry, and yeah, it's not as itchy as it was. But anyway, I don't know whether that's due to a little bit of stress or, you know, with everything that's been going on, because yeah, the last 12 months have been challenging, to say the least. This all, like I said earlier, we found all this out just at the time when we lost Mum and Dad, and I think it was just before we lost Mum, so last August we found out. And so there was, you know, the trauma of losing my parents within the space of 3 weeks of each other, and this with Les. So yeah, it's been quite difficult behind the scenes, my darlings, it really has. And this is why we should always be kind to each other, shouldn't we? Because nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors, do they? Nobody. Because even though I come on here and I share majority of my life with you, I obviously don't share everything with you, because some things are private, aren't they? And need to be kept private until the time is right to share. And that's why I've done this today, because now the time is right. We didn't even tell the kids. We did not even tell. The kids only found out yesterday, Saturday. So, and that's another reason why I'm coming on now, because I didn't want to say anything until the kids knew. We didn't tell the kids because we didn't want them to worry. They've got enough going on in their own lives, you know, and we did not want to spoil their joy, their life, because our kids are very happy and content in what they're doing, on Leslie's kids and my kids. And we did not want to upset the apple cart for them. We didn't want them having a cloud over their lives. You know, we like to see our kids happy, and that's why we didn't tell them. It wasn't because we didn't want them to know or we didn't want their help. It was because we just did not want them to worry unnecessarily. So, yeah, but they know now. They said that we should have told them. Which, you know, we get that, but there was reasons why we didn't. And Leslie's kids, they know what Leslie's like. Les has never been the kind of person who is always poorly. He doesn't go to the doctors. He's been through some traumatic times in his life. He's had many injuries during his life. And he's not a pussy when it comes to pain and stuff like that. And he certainly won't dwell on it and do anything, you know, like, oh, feel sorry for me because I'm poorly kind of thing. He's not that kind of guy. And he certainly wouldn't want sympathy. Do you know what I mean? He's not that kind of person. So, and his kids know that. So do him. They know what kind of guy he is. He doesn't moan about being poorly or anything like that. And that's the reason why we didn't tell them. We just didn't want them to worry unnecessarily. So, yeah. How long have I been going now? Bloody hell. Probably about 20 minutes by the time I edit a few little bits and pieces out of this. I don't think there's anything much more to say, my darlings. I'm going to put this up tonight. It's Sunday. So I'm going to put this up tonight, and I am going to be doing a little bit of filming this afternoon, sorting out. Oh my God. You should see the bedroom. You should see the bedroom. I've got a pile of clothes behind the camera here that I've sorted out for my niece, because she's lost a stack of weight. Carrie has. She has lost a stack of weight. Has gone from a size 20 to a size 14. So I bought all my summer clothes down from out the loft, and I have sorted a massive pile out for her because she's going on, she's got a couple of holidays coming up. So that was who was phoning me, and I was showing her all the clothes. Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? So yeah, there's a pile of clothes for Carrie there. There will be more. I've got tons to put on Vinted, which I keep saying I'm going to do, but this is another reason I haven't been able to upload on my Vinted. I just haven't had time. And when I have had the time, I have not had the inclination. Me and Les have come home from the hospital. Some days we haven't got home till 5, 6 o'clock. Had something to eat and gone straight to bed. We've been in bed for like 6, 7 o'clock sometimes, and yeah, up again. And that's how it's been. It's been Groundhog Day for the last 4 weeks. It really has. But I've got loads to get on top of now. I've got the Vinted stuff to do. I'm going to do mystery bags. So I'm going to put a number of items in a black bag and just put them on as mystery bags, because I just want gone. I just want it gone. Yeah, so that bedroom is just like a bomb has gone off in it. But yeah, we will get it sorted. We will get it sorted. So that'll probably be Monday's video. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow, depending on how the rest of my day goes. Basically, we're still trying to recoup from what's been going on over the last 4 weeks. So I might even just go and sit my arse down and do nothing again all day like I did yesterday. So bear with. Bear with. Right, I'm going to go, my darlings. I'm going to leave this little video here. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks for being patient with me. I do really, really appreciate that. I really do. There isn't much more to say apart from get the guys in your life tested, get their PSA levels tested at the doctors ASAP, because the sooner it's caught, the sooner it can be sorted out. Okay, so not only is this supposed to like something that I've been keeping to myself for the last 9 months, it's also awareness for you guys out there, your husbands, your sons, your grandsons, your nephews, anybody who you think is in that bracket, 40 plus, get them tested, because it's so important. It really is, because we did not think for 1 minute that was going to be the outcome of Les's blood tests. When they said there was something wrong, and they said it was to do with his liver, because Les, he doesn't really drink. He really does not drink. And when they mentioned his liver, he said, well, I don't drink. And they says, we know you don't drink. He says, because the doctor said, we can tell by your liver. Because apparently when you drink, your liver gives off some kind of, I don't know what it gives off, some chemical or something. And they can pick it up in your blood and your urine. And they knew Les wasn't drinking because that wasn't present. So they knew that it wasn't, a drink-related liver problem. So we just didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to expect as regards what they was going to tell us, whether it was his liver or... We didn't know. We just did not know. And when they come back and said that it was prostate cancer, you could have knocked us both over with a feather. We just did not expect that. So then, of course, I'm researching everything and... what can it be cured and what you have to go through. So I've done all my research with Dr. Google, and yeah, it's helped me through, and it's helped Les through as well. We've sat and we've researched together and all sorts of stuff. So, and Les has been brilliant as regards taking, advice and the medication and all the help and all the rest of it. So yeah, we're through the worst of it now, my darlings. We really are. I'm going to stop chewing your ear off again now anyway, because I've gone on long enough. But please take my advice and get your guys tested. Get them to the doctors. Don't let them doctor shoo them off and say, oh, you don't need your PSA levels testing. You do need your PSA level testing. If you are a guy of a certain age, please go and get it done. It could save your life. It could save your life. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to go, and I will see you all hopefully on Monday. If it's not going to be up tomorrow, I'll put a community post on, and it'll probably be Wednesday, okay? But until then, Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. I love you guys loads from the bottom of my heart. You guys know how I feel about you and how much I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra, bees.